Hi, it's Christina with the Sisyphean Journal, and I've said before that one of the things researchers found out about pre-legalization abortions is that the vast majority of them were performed by physicians, and the ones that weren't performed by doctors were performed by people who had medical training. And in this case, we have a disgraced physician and a nurse. Geraldine Schuyler, age 20, was a secretary at Mathewson Electric Company in Chicago when she learned that she was pregnant in January of 1944. The father was her fiance, who was a soldier in the Army Air Forces. So Geraldine turned to her mother, Leah Schuyler, who went with her on January 14th to meet one of Leah's friends, a 49-year-old nurse named Avis Conrad. Conrad took them to a rooming house where 79-year-old George Fosberg was working as a caretaker. Fosberg had been a doctor, but his license was revoked in 1930 when he'd gone to prison for bank fraud. Fosberg examined Geraldine and agreed to perform an abortion. So the women returned to the boarding house on January 17th. Mrs. Schuyler paid Fosberg $100, which is about $1,700 in 2022. He took the three women into the basement for an abortion. Conrad assisted him. Now, Geraldine started to become ill on January 20th. By the night of Saturday, January 22nd, she took a sudden turn for the worse and was quickly taken to St. Francis Hospital in Evanston shortly before midnight. Around 2 o'clock on the morning of the 23rd, she was dead. Mrs. Schuyler called the police and told them what had happened and then led them to the rooming house. There, they found Fosberg wandering around, quote, in the dusty basement of the house, walking through stacks of his old records as a physician. The police confiscated 7 sets of surgical instruments. Now, Nurse Conrad testified against Fosberg during the trial, admitting that she had witnessed the abortion. Fosberg took the stand in his own defense and admitted that the 3 women had come to him on January 17th about an abortion, and he wept as he said that he resented the request. Quote, I suggested that she marry the man. I told her that if she had a baby, she would never regret it. The jury only needed 90 minutes to reach a decision. Fosberg was convicted of manslaughter rather than the more serious charge of murder by abortion. Now, the judge originally sentenced Fosberg to 14 years in prison. It was deferred while Fosberg tried to get a new trial. The attempt failed. However, Fosberg's attorney argued that due to Fosberg's age, a 14-year term was equivalent to a death sentence. So Fosberg's sentence was reduced to 1 to 3 years. I've been unable to learn anything about the outcome of the charges against Nurse Conrad. She had been granted a second trial. So, again, here we had a person who certainly had medical skills being assisted by somebody who certainly had medical skills. The illegal abortion era was not, as the abortion lobby wants you to think, just a bunch of coat hanger impaled women littering front lawns.